Yeah. Okay, guys, welcome to everybody.
One thing I just can't lose.
I start with this incredible song from Flanger group. I'll fight for you. Yeah. Hello, quite new to Fractal World. I had FM9 about 2 weeks and I really like it. Sold my quad cortex and now I'm waiting for FM9. Well, great grandas tales. I approve. One thing I saw regarding delay blocks seemed that volume was dropping when you use one. Is any settings? Yes. Okay. Okay, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. Let's start. As you know, there is a new Fractal FM9 firmware 9.0. And I would like to share with you some hints regarding how to use Fractal new firmware. And also it is, let's say, one of my, how can I say, development, research, I don't know exactly, but I constantly works on my presets on my store, and I love to find out a new solution to optimize the unit in terms to follow my first philosophy, who is less is more. Less is more to me means order, discipline, best result, easy to use, smart work, everything of positive around this philosophy. Less is more. Sometimes I see very complex rig, complex presets, but the sound isn't. Sometimes it's not good, and many people ask to me how to solve some issues, some problems. I see problems regarding delay blocks and so on. Okay, Fractal is a really professional, high-end unit. So you first of all, you have to be professional. You cannot use a Fractal as a toy. You in your hand, you have one of the best modeler in the world. I think the best modeler in the world. Sorry, and you have to, your behavior and your approach has to be professional. If you are not in this way, this doesn't mean that you have to be a professionist. The approach has to be professional. Okay, professional means read the manual, follow my channel, follow tutorial. Okay, and think before to do anything. New firmware improves a lot of things. I suggest you to check my videos where I shows all improvements regarding the new firmware. And Fractal is works constantly to improve the quality of the effects, the algorithm, and so on. And it is necessary, as your approach is professional, to work on this. And for this, I'm reviewing, reworking my presets, and I discover very important things. I would like to share with you my presets. MF Glam that I just updated in some minutes ago. So if you buy this preset from my store, you will sure receive the mail, the notification with the update. If not, please send me an email to support at marcofanton.it. this preset is really significant because, as you can see, when I update the new firmware 9.0, I notice that the CPU power increase a lot. I would like to share with you this information. Let me check. Okay, this is my store. Okay, I show you immediately. This is my store. Let's check the MF Glam. The name is because it's a glam genre, music genre, but it's based on Soldano amp. Check on FM9, okay, and I'm really sorry because this I already updated the image. But if you went just 2 days ago, the power consumption of this preset was about 73, 74. So as you can see, the increasing of the CPU power is really strong, about 10%. Why this? Because there are a lot of improvement on the compressor and some other effects, the Plex delay and so on. So I find out some different hints and some different tricks to reduce dramatically the CPU power. This is the version 8 of my presets, and I show you now. Okay, 83%, and I show you now the actual version. Actual version is 61, and the preset is almost the same. I can say it sounds better than now. How is possible? Okay, I show you. First of all, let's come back again on the previous version. First of all, you have to check the compressor algorithm, because in the previous preset I work with the optical compressor because, okay, I like it. It seems pretty nice, but you have to remember that the compressor for guitar player are, let's say, like the stomp pedal. So it is necessary to have a really complex compressor algorithm like in the studio, even if you have a lot of studio compressor in the list of Fractal. But we have to take care because it makes no sense to use the complex algorithm for the guitar. Absolutely makes no sense. And you can use a compressor like Econo Dynacomp. Econo Dynacomp, it is the previous pedal comp 1, if you remember, in the previous version. And that is similar to the Boss CS compressor. The pedal is very, very used pedal in all pedal boards. And it is absolutely enough for the most of the use. Or I suggest to you, for example, to use the analog compressor. What I have to underline is the impact of the change of the compressor. Now I am on 83%. Let's check what's happened if I select analog compressor. Wow, 17.7. So you save 6% with this preset. It is incredible. And the sound is pretty similar because for the guitar, you don't need a really, really special algorithm. So the first is to check which compressor gives more impact on your guitar. For example, analog sustainer is pretty the same. Classic VCA is a bit more, okay? Or compounder, it is much more, okay? Or you can select Econo Dynacomp, as you can see, is 77. So one of my favorite it is the analog compressor. I love it, but in the previous version of the firmware, the consumption of the CPU power is a bit higher than the optical compressor. Now it's vice versa. So why not? I love to use the analog compressor. It's one of my favorite. And I save really, really high amount of CPU power. Okay, guys. This is my first hint. The second hint is one special hint, because I remember, you should remember that the Fractal unit used the processor with cores. You know what is a core? Into the processor, there are different embedded processor named by core. And you know, if you look into any kind of PC processor, you can find multi-core system, 10 cores, 16 cores, and more and more. Any core can let's say, can take care of a specific process. In Fractal unit, there are different cores. If I remember well, FM3 has only 2 cores. On FM9 should be, but I'm not really sure, should be 4 cores. And on AXFX3 should be 8. I am not really sure. But in any case, what I remember for sure is that FM9 has more cores than FM3. And any core take care of a specific part of the algorithm. There is a core in FM3, for example. There is a core that take care of the amp. Other core take care of the effects. And this is the reason that you cannot have double amp on FM3. Okay? Because one core is dedicated to the amp algorithm, the other core is for the effect. Okay. On the FM3, you have more cores, and so you have 2 amps, and the same for AXFX3. But sometimes there are some cores that has some space to develop some other effects. In case of FM3, the second core take care of the amp and also of the reverb algorithm. Okay, so because most of my preset, I use the Plex delay. I use Plex delay for, I can show you now, for this kind of effect. I use this one, or I use Econo Shimmer or the Plex Verb. Okay, this Plex delay block is a very complex algorithm, and I show you what's happened if I delete this block from the rig. Wow. You can reduce it 14% of the CPU. Okay, but this is really, I love this effect because give me a huge ambient. But as I told you before, I can use the second reverb. On FM9, there is 2 reverbs. So you can insert, sorry, I switch on the, let's come back, just a moment, I come back again because I didn't show exactly what's happened. So reduce the compressor to the analog, okay, so the CPU goes to 77, and now delete the Plex block, okay. We go to 63%. So, let's try to use the second reverb block. And it is like a magic effect, because, ladies and gentlemen, when I insert the second block, practically only 1% of the CPU occupied. And this is incredible. Why? because the reverb is a really complex effect. Why only 1%? As I told you before, because there is a core specific for the reverb, and this doesn't occupy and doesn't make any consumption on the CPU power. Wow. So I am only on 64, and remember, I'm using the FM9 non-turbo version. I think most of you, especially in Europe, you have only Europe version and turbo version. Maybe in USA there are some units non-turbo version, but I'm using the non-turbo version. So maybe your CPU is less than 64. So I connected the reverb. Okay. And I want to show you what kind of incredible reverb we have, because I include me. Okay, this is in parallel as usual. I enable the kill dry. I go to the mix to the 100%. This is the all. What this is the sorry. Let's check. Okay, the clean. Okay, just a moment. Oh. Okay. But this is the all, but we have a lot of incredible effect, like check the constellation name, like Andromeda. Yeah. Wow. It's pretty better than the Econo Shimmer. Or check Capricorn. Wow. So, if I wanted to use the Plex verb, for example, there is a really nice and similar effect like Stratocumulus. The new reverbs, the new very complex algorithms are named by the cloud, like Stratocumulus or Nimbostratus or Cumulonimbus and so on. This is the name of the clouds. And also there is the constellation. So check it and check them, and they are really fantastic. For example, Stratocumulus is a really long reverb to create a very, very nice. Then, to have the Econo Shimmer, I can use the Ursa Major. Ursa Major is this one, and this is an amazing shimmer reverb. Kill dry, mix 100%, and you can tweak the effect with the level or with the mixer. Okay. So, with this reverb, you can save. Remember, the initial CPU power was 83. Now I'm on 64, 20%. But it's not finished, guys. Dry block. I use dry block, especially on the delete sound. Okay, to have an extra mid-range. Okay, typically I use the TS808 mode. don't use this drive because I am a fan of TS-808. I use it because it is the right mid-range. I love to have an extra boost on the gain. But, guys, let's check on the drive. There are different drives because you have almost 80 drives available, and not all drives has the same CPU impact. One you can use, for example, the FAT Preamp. FAT Preamp is a really clean boost drive, and I want to show you what's happened when I select the drive instead the FAT Preamp instead of the TS-808. Okay. So I am now on 64.8. Let's check the FAT Preamp. Wow, 60. So this is the Tube Screamer, and this is the FAT Preamp. Amazing. I saved 4% of the CPU. It's incredible. But this is a clean boost. And also it is rise up the high frequency and also the bass frequency. But guys, remember, on Fractal, drives are really complex blocks, and you have the tone and you have the graphic EQ. So with the graphic EQ, you can design any curve you want. For example, if you want to emphasize the mid-range, I can design the typical V, the inverse V curve. So, guys, I've reduced from 83 to 61%. And the sound is practically the same. I think that is a bit better than before. I show you my final preset you can find on my store, and is okay. If you already bought the preset, you will receive the notification with upgrade. During my updating, I'm checking new sound, new effect, new solution. I love to give you something more. I recommend you, in any case, guys, to back up your previous preset because maybe you don't like the new one. Okay, so please back up your previous and install the new one. Install in a different slot so you can compare the old one with the new one. It's up to you if you like the oldest or the newer. Okay, so please. Don't send me an email that I delete. Okay, I can give you the old one because my archive, of course. But okay, first of all, install both presets and compare. Maybe my taste is not your taste, and maybe you make some modification on my presets, and you want to keep your modification. So remember to install it, but not overwrite the old preset. Save it and backup it. Okay. Okay, later on I will answer to your question, of course, guys. But this is the last firmware, last version of these presets. And as you can see, I change some things. I put the Econodyna compressor, for example, to have the very complex and clean, like the typical 80 age clean. I have the FAT Preamp, okay, with the curve that I shown before. I use the Reverb instead of the Plex Verb. And I change the pitch block. It's not anymore on parallelism series. This is my new, let's say, new philosophy is different because I prefer in the pitch block. I use in the tune version. I prefer to use in series. It's much more let's say, is better. It's matter of taste. Of course, you can use in parallel. This doesn't affect any kinds of the CPU power. It is only my taste, especially for the typical sounds from 80s. Someone of you noticed this parametric EQ in parallel with the cabin. Now, this is, let's say, a small trick that I wanted to share with you for the clean. If you know the typical 80s sound, many guitar players like Dan Huff, Tim Pierce, Mike Landau, and so on, they record the clean sound sometimes directly on the mixer without the amp, or they take direct the sound from the slave out of the amp and goes directly to the mixer. Because I show you. This is the clean sound. This is very nice, but something is less. I wanted to show you, let me check one really famous song from Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen, let me check. Okay, Van Halen. Okay, Eddie Van Halen. This is okay. I want to show this song. So it comes from '95. Okay. This is not a really clean amp. I can show again. The first part you can hear the guitar alone. It's similar but not the same. Why? Because there is the direct part of guitar bypass the cabinet. For this reason, I put this parametric EQ. Okay, and there is a part of the signal that bypass the cabinet block, and this is the result. And why there is this big, let's say, how can I say, curve on the mid range? Because this is the sound of the pickups, the magnetic pickups, and if I don't decrease the mid range, this is the sound is not good. I prefer to make this sound is not good. I need only the extreme part of the signal, the high hand and the low hand. So you also can change the frequency, but typically the frequency is around the 800 Hertz. This sounds completely different. The right one, it is 800. And also you can adjust the curve to shape better this hole. And this is the typical sound from 80 age. So let's check again with Van Halen if the sound is similar. Much better. Oops, sorry, Oh. are here, guys. Hey!
There's a time and place for everything, for everyone. We can push with all our might, but nothing's gonna come. Oh no, nothing's gonna change. And if I ask you not to try, oh, could you let me? I wanna hold you tight. We can fly someday. Tell you
Okay, fantastic. And you can hear also the long reverb in parallel, and this is fantastic. And also on the lead sound, it is really nice to have this fat preamp that creates a curve, because when you are in the rhythm part, you can enable the pitch, the tune. Maybe it's not. Let me check if this is. No, this is the preset. Because I changed the cabinet. You have this one. Let me check MF Glam. Where is it? MF Glam. Is this correct or not? No. Yes, is this one? Let me check. Yes, it's correct. Exactly, with Dynacab. And I wanted to show you. This is a Soldano. I want to show you the difference between the rhythm part, where there is also the pitch, the tune. And the lead. On the lead, I increased the volume with this block, the volume block, about 2.9 dB. As you can see, it is only a boost, absolutely clean boost. And I added the drive with the mid-range curve. And I switch off the pitch because so I create a different let's say image, stereo image. From the rhythm part is wide spread on the left and right, and the lead is it's not only a matter of volume, but it's also a matter of stereo image. And so the effect is like this, for example. Let me check an example with this famous song. Where is it? Just a moment, guys. Okay. For example. Okay. Sound like this. Okay, you know it. You can hear the original guitar, and this is mine. to the solo. Rhythm part. Okay, it is pretty useful to use the pitched tune on the rhythm part to, like an enhancer, to put the guitar extremely left and right, and the solo, put the guitar in the center. So, as you can see, now I'm working with a preset with only 61%. And I remember you that I don't use the FM9 Turbo, I use the FM9 Standard. So the FM9 Turbo should be less than 60 for sure, maybe around 50, 51%. So I have a lot of room to put any kind of other effects, of course. And use, okay, of course I can use the compressor, but for example, on the clean part, I show you, I use the Econo because I like Econo. It is analog compressor, sorry. I can increase the ratio to have a very squeezed sound. I can decrease the threshold. Too much. Okay, so I hope this insight is helpful for you. And now it is the time of the questions. Let me check if you have some questions. Let's start from the last one. Hello, Marco from Georgia, USA. Appreciate your sharing all your knowledge. Thank you so much, Jody in Alaska. Jody in Alaska. Okay. Thank you so much. Chris Nash. Ciao, Chris. Hello, Marco from the Washington, D.C. area. Love your preset. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you very much. And don't forget to subscribe to the mail list to receive notification, update, and so on and so on. But I think that now there is a new store, new links, and it's much more comfortable for me to keep updated my store. But if you have any question, please send me an email to support at marcofanton.it. Same of the multiplexer, says Reiko. Multiplexer wouldn't use in bypass mode, basically to the same job. What I miss? Yes, no, Raicho. It's completely different. If you are able to do this, but I work a lot around this method, and I already shows to use the same pedal, volume pedal, to like a volume pedal and wah pedal. And the only solution I find to have the correct functionality, especially on a live stage, is to use the multiplex. But multiplex itself doesn't have a big impact. I can show you if I delete, it is 1%. It is practically nothing. So it's much better to use a multiplex. It's much more comfortable. Also because you can use the whammy pedal without any kind of problem. And I wanted to share with you another hint that Javi Altonaga. Hi, Marco. Happy we can speak soon. For sure. You are welcome, absolutely. Danica looks better now in new firmware. Yes, I'm a bit agree with you, Axel Keep. I'm agree. Just installed my new three-way speaker, as you suggest. It is much better. Okay, yes, I know it's better. Okay, there is another question. Question. It's under 100. Why don't we care about CPU just so much? But it's absolutely up to you. The name is CodeM. I hope that I read correctly. There is a limit over, let's say, 84, 85% you can go, but you can start to have some problem with the response of the Fractal unit because I take a lot of time. Because Fractal, you have the 84, 85%, 86%, but the rest of the time you use Fractal for the interface, to handle the foot switch, the displays, and so on. So for the service using. So you cannot exceed more than XT 86, 87. If you go over, there is an alert message that the CPU is warning and the sounds goes down. So in any case, okay, you can use up to 85% maybe, but why? The initial. I start with this tutorial to say my philosophy is less is more, because anytime I put out some things from the presets is better than before. This is my philosophy. The optimization itself to me is better than put a lot of things, because more things means more heavy, more process, and you touch here and you lose. If the preset is really linear, clean, simple to read, simple to use on stage, because I'm a musician. I work on the stage, and to me, on the stage, if I need something, I can go immediately and recognize where I have to adjust. Now I don't adjust anything because my ears is so tuned with the right sound that I typically don't need to do anything. So on the stage, I am already prepared to connect to the mix, and that's it. But of course, it's absolutely up to these are my hints to you, and if you like my philosophy, but any user has his own philosophy. In any case, I prefer, for example, to dedicate more resource for the most important effects, for example. But if I can use a reverb instead of Plex verb, why not? And save a lot of CPU for other things. For example, to use I can show you, to use better the reverb cabinet, the room cabinet, that is pretty nice. And also, you have to imagine that I develop tens of presets, and any kind of preset has their needs. Some preset needs more powerful on the compressor, on the cabinet, on the drives, and so on. So if I start from a template where I can save a lot of CPU, I'm really happy, because I can put anything I need without affect the power of the CPU. This is the reason. But of course, it is absolutely my philosophy. Let me check other questions. Marco, love your presets. What function does the parallel Pico? Okay, I already answered to this question. Damchka. Okay, so I hope that is correct. Thank you for subscribing. So please, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Greetings from German, Andreas. Ciao, Andreas. Thanks for your tutorial every Saturday. So don't forget, I try every Saturday to this time to have the tutorial. So if you have any question, you can put the question on the chat. Okay, this is another good question. I always wondering why people are using send and receive blocks when there appears to be enough space on the road. Is this for organization reason? The preset market is using right now as well. Exactly, Rachel. I love this because for sure another way to save some space is to save some space and CPU power is to reduce the number of this shunt. Okay, the name is shunt. Because any shunt gives his impact on the CPU. If I squeeze the preset, I can save, I think, other almost 2% of the CPU. But in any case, I love, as I told you, I create a lot of presets and I want to have the room to put the effect that I want. And I like to keep two separate lines. The upper row, the upper lines is for the tone shaping. So where I create the tone, the compressor, the drive, the amp, the cabinet, the boost. Okay. Then on the lower row, I use the ambient effects. So the chorus, the pitch of the tune, the delay, reverb, and so on. This is my, let's say, structure. It is a template, so I have a room to put this effect, to try this and that, to exchange the blocks and so on, to put in parallel or in series and so on and so on. I make a lot of research and development around this preset, so I love to have enough space. Of course, I can reduce the preset, but my idea is also that when someone buy a preset from my store, maybe love the sound, but he needs some effects, some flanger, some rotary. Okay, for example, in this preset, I don't use the flanger, but many people love the flanger, so you can put the flanger in any place. You have not to separate the blocks. Okay, you can adapt the preset to your needs. Okay, so I wanted to put a flanger. Yeah, why not? Flanger as some impact on the CPU. Let's check the CPU power. 5%. So we have all space to put any kind of effect. So I can try before or I can try after the amp. This is an example. I wanted to give you another important hint. On Fractal FM9, you have only one pitch. And many people use the pitch as a virtual capo. And it's a problem, because if you use the pitch like the tune, like me in this case. It's a problem. But you can see there is also a chorus. So let's try to use the pitch on the before the amp and use it like a virtual capo. Sorry, it is. I need to change on true. Yeah. So if I use the pitch like virtual capo, how can I increase to have the chorus? Remember that on the multi-delay, you have also the chorus block, but I have also the chorus on the multi-tap delay. Okay, here. No, sorry, this is the mega one, sorry. Multi-tap delay, okay. You can select the amazing TC Electronic 1210. And this is fantastic. So you can have the pitch block like virtual capo now and a multi delay for the chorus. Okay, so now you saw the issue that you have you need to use the pitch and you have not any other pitch for the virtual capo. So you can use the multi-delay and chorus together and you can produce incredible chorus and the tunes. And this is very nice. Okay, guys, so let's come back to the chat if you have other questions. Okay. Dynacab looks bad. Okay. Just install my new three-way speaker. Okay, perfect. Oh, okay. I don't see any other question, guys. So thank you so much. And if you have further questions, you can type the question below the video. I will answer as soon as possible. Please visit my website, marcofanton.it, my store. Okay, there is also the link everywhere. And put a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and enable the notification button to receive any notification for the live. And I hope to see you next Saturday for the usual appointment with Fractal Q&A. So, thank you so much, guys. See you. Have a nice weekend to everybody. And see you again. Ciao, ciao, ciao.